today we are actually going to visit the ruins of Pompeii and also the Herculaneum and also some other place. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's a villa. It was the villa of a mistress of Nero, and that's the plan for the day. It's a lot of walking. It's going to be very hot. Could get a little bit hot and bothered, a little flustered, because there's just so much to take in. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing Pompeii. This was probably the thing I was most looking forward to about the holiday, was actually coming to the ruins of Pompeii. So hopefully it'll be as interesting and worthwhile as I hoped for. And just a little side note here, just problems with my phone have been ongoing over the last couple of days. Something to do with the charging. I charged it up all night long and it says it's 100% at the moment. Now I'm thinking that it's kind of oddly set itself so it stays on 100% for a long time, and then when it does drop down through the 90s to the 85, it switches off when it gets to 85%. So I've charged it up and I'm just hoping it stays on 100% for a long time through the day before it starts to drop. You know, I've looked at various issues. It seems other people have had similar issues with their iPhones, so we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully I can get to the bottom of that and we can go out and have a good day. We're now on a train and Becca's going to explain where we're going.
So we're going to Herculaneum, which I said Herculaneum, and the guy was like Heraclo. So I assume that's the right one. And we're going on a very hot, very wobbly, very slow train. Mark and I endured this train yesterday all the way to Naples and it wasn't fun, but it should only be about 15-20 minutes. Herculaneum is another ruined city. It's smaller than Pompeii, and many people prefer it really because it's more compact and it's easy to walk around, and there's like stuff there that there isn't at Pompeii. Like you can really see the layers of the volcanic deposit material, which is quite interesting.
That authentic scaffolding. So this is the Herculaneum, and it seems quite small actually. Compared to what I've heard about Pompeii, this seems easily navigatable in a fairly short space of time. But this is very much like the main Pompeii site, but it's smaller, and I don't think it has like the casts of all the people here either. Because this was affected, but it was affected in a slightly different way. I'm guessing because it's a bit further away, the effect was different. But apparently you can see the different layers of the ash better here than you can in the main Pompeii ruins. Suppose we'll find out when we get a closer look. I'm going to throw you over to our tour guide to hit you with some facts.
Well, here we are in Herculaneum, much less visited, quieter, smaller site, but actually equally interesting. It has
white building where the anthropologists are studying the DNA, the proteins of the bones, the illnesses and infections.
All the stuff that you'd get at Pompeii, really, just on a smaller scale. So we're going to be seeing some houses, we're going to be seeing some skeletons, we're going to be seeing the volcanic ash deposits, which is very interesting, and hopefully it'll be very interesting.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. We used to have a like travel map off this one map. So at the top they were like no more maps. But like, I really feel like I need it. I'm just going to triple that.
Is this a particular room?
Yeah, it's not one of the ones in my guidebook, but this would have been somebody's house. This would have been the atrium, which is the central room. That would have been a pool. There would probably been a little fountain there, and then these rooms would be the sort of living rooms that came off here. This is a portico, and would have been open out into a nice garden. This would have been a very, very impressive house, and it was like these would have been little storerooms.
Incredible how much of it is actually still standing.
I know. And if you look up at the houses up there, that's the level where the dirt was. So it gives you some idea how far down they had to dig to expose this level. You don't really get the sense of that with Pompeii, I don't think. Oh, look, you can see that's the Pompeii red. That's the original painting. Now, when you're in Pompeii, you can actually see some of the frescoes. Oh, look at that lizard there.
Ooh.
Zoom. Oh no, you
Can't. Don't have that feature.
Oh God.
That's really about as close as I want to get to a lizard.
Okay, more.
Ooh, scared him off.
Get that in the country-style calendar competition.
But yeah, all the impressive parts really, we've stripped off and sunk into it. But you can see some of the mosaic here, and obviously that was a painting originally. Aww.
One of those days, Marc.
Well, it's not having a good day. It's not having a good day. So, people didn't have baths in their own home, so they all used communal baths. And they would have gone every single day. It was considered like an absolute necessity. Even the poor people would have scrabbled together the money to go to the baths, because once you stopped bathing, you stopped being a civilised person, and you might as well just be a savage. Tell that to Marc.
Yeah, he's a savage today.
No, that's a big hour.
Here he is, you savage.
This is another home.
The other things didn't look very bath-like.
I think that might have been a laundry. I think this was a laundry. This looks like it's a bath, doesn't
So when was this unearthed?
it? Like 18th century. But the 18th century, they were terrible archaeologists. They were just terrible. They did terrible things. They just cut through things and like ripped things out and pulled stuff off the walls and didn't record anything. And then when they got everything they wanted, they just chucked all the rubble back on top of it. And yeah. And it wasn't really until the 20th century that like a more scientific approach to archaeology was established. Because in the 18th century it was more like glorified treasure hunting rather than actual like historical, recording of what had happened. And Pliny's account of the eruption of the volcano wasn't actually found until the 16th century. So until that time, people didn't really have any knowledge about the volcanic explosion at all.
Okay. Men's bath.
This is the ancient latrine. This is the aqueductarium, that's the changing room.
That's the latrine, exactly.
That's the latrine there.
Oh,
Sort of more like a glorified urinal. Yeah. There's a bench for waiting patrons and a nifty wall shelf for sandal and toga storage. So then you'd go to the frigidarium, that is up here. This is the palestra, which is where you would exercise. This would be like, this bit here where we're walking would be a covered terrace, and you'd sort of walk round or run round and people would wrestle outside.
Kind of like the local leisure centre.
Yeah, it is like a local leisure centre. Going to a bath is an experience. Now, I imagine that this was part of the hot water storage for heating for the hot. Because you sort of you had warm, then hot, then cold, and then a slave would come along and scrape you.
Quite civilised.
Very civilised, yeah. And it would take a lot of the day.
Just like me in my showers.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of the day.
Yeah,
See?
there's more room in here than we think.
Hit me with some facts about this room.
So here's another of a sort of a warm, chill-out room. People would sit in here, and a lot of business was done in here. Like daughters were married off, and business agreements were set up, and slaves exchanged hands.
It's a bit like a sauna.
Yeah, although this bit wouldn't be hot. This would just be like the temperature it is, I suppose.
Okay. So this is the college of the Augustales.
Of like the imperial cult. So Augustus is the emperor. He'd been dead for about 70 years at this point. But he was revered by the Romans as a god, and he was worshipped, I suppose, along with the canon of gods. So it seems like, from what I can see, this is a college set up for people who are kind of spinning the Augustan propaganda machine, which is quite interesting. I suppose a bit like if Nazi Germany, if Hitler had died but Germany was still Nazi, they'd like have later leaders, but they'd still glorify Hitler as like the founding father, I suppose.
A lot of Hitler on this tape. Too much Hitler on this holiday tape. Let's have more Churchill, the goodies.
Here we have what is most likely a row of shops. Some adverts of what they're selling and the prices. It's nice to take any opportunity to get a little bit of shade. Just gonna stand here for a bit. Oh, it's solid concrete, yeah?
They can't be original, can they? Concrete.
Well, they're not concrete, they're like...
You sure? Feels like concrete.
Well, the Romans did have concrete.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
This is concrete evidence of that.
What did the Romans eat? They had a bit of pasta in that.
They ate all sorts. They had bread, they had meat, they had fish, they had olives, they had fruit.
Didn't have no pasta though.
They had edible dormice. I don't think they had that.
Some actual bones.
Bones down, bones down, bones down.
Oh, a lot more bones. It's kind of weird that they'd all be in such good condition after all these years. Right up as close as I can in there. About to head in here now. Don't know what's in here. Some sort of cave. Oh, instant coolness. Let's get out of that sun. Don't know where this is leading us. Maybe it's leading us out, I don't know. Yes, it's leading us out. So there we go, that was the Herculaneum. And it was very hot, but it, you know, it was good to see so many things still preserved in good condition. Apparently this happens on trains in Italy.
Tutte femmine faccio spirare, una faccia bella, un cuore buono.
the onboard entertainment.
Yeah, it was good. It was rocket.
Where are we going now? We're going to a villa. Yeah.
It's a villa of Apontis. It's a villa that was also covered by Vesuvian ash, but it wasn't so much. It wasn't found till quite a lot later, when we'd kind of moved from the treasure hunting type of archaeology to the slightly more respectable, let's record and preserve what we have found for future generations.
Okay.
Pompeii was the notorious mistress of the Emperor Nero. She came to his attention while she was still married. Nero basically beheaded and divorced his wife, not necessarily in that order, to be with Pompeii. And literally Nero couldn't do enough for her. He like murdered his own mother because his mother didn't like Pompeii. He built her all these palaces and stuff, but then she got pregnant. He was really excited, but then one day she like criticised him. She criticised him about something, I think because he was home late, and he like kicked her to death while she was pregnant.
Oh.
So don't cross the Emperor Nero, he's crazy.
There's a bit of a theme of like powerful men just like dropping everything for their women on this trip.
It's a real like, I don't know, like the Roman imperial household, if you like, existed of like really weak, slightly crazy men being controlled by these powerful women that were able to kind of manipulate them and get them to do what they want. Many people say actually the women that ran the imperial household, they were really clever. They knew what they wanted.
How can they possibly know all this from relics?
No, it's from Tacitus and Suetonius. They're the two like ancient historians that write about that period. And it's very, very like accurate accounts. And whilst
We assume. We don't really know for sure.
both of them were written independently, and they do correspond on lots of different things. So we can't ever entirely know.
What do we assume
how
they were
accurate
written
they were.
independently?
Well, we know they were written independently because they were written in different countries, by different people. But I agree, like one of them might be influenced by the other. But
just to give you the free.
So this right here is a swimming pool. It's a pretty decent sized swimming pool. Although I imagine without chlorine it would be a little bit disgusting back in the day. Sounds like someone's letting off a load of fireworks. But it's in like the middle of the day. We can't see anything, we just hear it all.
Now we're off to the historic site of McDonald's, founded by Ronald. America. And then having a siesta, 2 hours.
Are we?
And then hit Pompeii.
Nice.
Point on my hammy t-shirt out to dry. They lived up to your expectations, Becca.
maybe so. Why would you let fireworks off in the middle of the day?
Don't know.
Didn't read the instructions.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I was hoping it was going to be exactly what it was.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad it didn't disappoint.
No, it definitely didn't disappoint. And I was like, I never felt amazed by the lovely wall art. I just can't believe it's so old. There's no way our wallpaper would still be standing 2,000 years later. Although I've definitely picked up at least 4 more mosquito bites since this morning.
There was loads of mosquitoes in that villa.
Was there?
Yeah, I heard them all flying
I
around.
think that's what I think I've got at least like 4 now. So, oh well, it was worth it. This is one I didn't want to get. It's a huge one. It's right next to that one.
They're at it again.
It is just one stop, but now it's like 3 stops, but on a short one.
part 2 of our day, and we're coming into the actual Pompeii ruins. And here are some of the casts of the actual people that died. Kind of eerie. Yes.
But you can't, if you go in, you can't just wander out the other side. You have to come back the same entrance that you've gone in, okay? Yes?
Is that the law?
Same entrance, but you have to answer that.
No. I mean, if you walk into a building, you need to come back out the same way.
Okay.
Okay?
For what purpose?
Just to keep everybody together, because if we split up, we'll never find each other again. It's not like Herculaneum.
Yes, miss.
So we're going to the amphitheatre.
Amp it up.
So the theatre, that's where the plays would have happened, but the amphitheatre is where the gladiatorial displays would have happened. So there would have been lions and tigers and gladiator displays, horses.
Are you not entertained?
Here we go. I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. Sorry, it's whose garden?
Julia Felix. She was a kind of quite an independent, modern sort of woman who owned a lot of property and had been left money and yeah. Just like,
No gnomes. I'm finding this to be very gardeny. Not really what I was expecting to see.
oh no, we're just scratching the surface, honestly. Like all the real stuff's over there. This is like the posh villas on the outside of town. We're still on the outskirts of the town, really. As we move over into that area, it'll be more like what
So that's where carts.
That's where the carts would have like come down.
All right.
You can sort of see it there and there, actually. And these were drains for the water.
I've seen smoother Roman roads.
Yeah. Very authentic though. You feel like you're walking on the same road that they walked on. It's quite nice.
Walking right into history. Really starting to see like the town.
Yeah, you really get a feel for it, don't you? You feel like, oh, you were out in the suburbs, and now you feel like you're on a main street, don't you? Now, if this is open, this is the right one. It's got like birds and stuff.
And then we were coming, we rolled on the red car. It's too encourages to keep off the tiles. The house of the
Fawn, like
Fawn.
Fawn, because it's named after that.
Okay.
Like a fawn as in Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas. So, like, who lived here?
I don't know who lived here, but it's named, the house is named after the fawn that they found here. It was obviously someone rich and important. And around and pretend you were like the lost soul.
Thinking about it, it's a pretty long street, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when I was here the other morning when I was like ridiculously hot, I was just thinking like, oh my god, I can't believe Pompeii people used to go out in this heat. And then I thought, oh yeah, they had slaves. And I remembered, yeah, actually, they didn't do anything. They just sat around and their slaves did all the hard work.
They must have all got pretty fat.
I think it, like a fuller figure was considered a sign of, you know, prosperity. Like, but you didn't need to go out and rush around and, you know, work. Now that's the forum, which is very exciting. But we're going to leave that for the moment. So we're going to go to the Villa of Mysteries. We'll come back to that.
I just thought you ticked it really well.
Oh,
Full of figure.
full of figure, absolutely, yeah. Ian, I'm about to go factory.
There we go.
So, do you know anything about the mystery cult?
No, it's all a bit of a mystery.
So basically, in Rome, they worshipped lots of different gods and goddesses. But what they also had was these cults, and the cults were various different things and for various different people. So there was cults that only virgins could belong to, or married mothers, or brides to be. The Illyrian mystery cult was one of the most elite cults, and to get into this cult, you had to do a very difficult and challenging initiation. And people allude to this in ancient texts, in plays, in songs, but we don't really know what those initiation rites were.
Okay.
I think they might be sexual,
Ooh.
but I'll leave it at that.
Legally sexual or illegally?
Probably not.
Okay.
If I know the ancient Greeks and Romans, probably not. But it was the ancient Greeks that started off this Illyrian mysteries thing, and then it came, oh, it's nice, and then it came here. And we think it might be something to do with Hercules, because in this villa that we're going to, painted on the walls are scenes that supposedly depict the steps that you have to go through to do this initiation process.
Okay.
But the truth is, we just don't know. We don't know.
There we go. Well, that's why it's a mystery.
And it's assumed that this villa was owned by someone who was a patron or someone who was high up. So it's a bit like Freemasonry, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
You have to know someone to get in, and then there'd be benefits because you'd be like, oh, you know someone else in the cult, and they can help you out with this, that kind of thing.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, sort of situation.
Exactly. But with a kind of a religious element to it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good facts.
This house was really better preserved. Rachel, this house was better preserved than many others, and the color, the red Pompeii color, is very, very bright.
So this is the actual Villa of Mysteries.
This is the actual Villa of Mysteries.
Wow. See the actual skull, and then the rest of it that's just been covered. Small one. Could be a child. Like aliens. So we go into the forum now, is that right?
Yeah, we're nipping to the baths on our way past.
Okay. Could do with a bath.
And into the forum. We might do with a bath.
And what's in the
Old Roman
forum?
bath would be quite nice. Well, the forum was the kind of the main shopping area.
Okay.
So it would be set out with stalls and people would meet there, do things there. It's just a big, nice, wide open area. I believe there's some sculptures there as well, although I don't think they're original sculptures. There's also a shop where if you choose you could purchase some very expensive water
Oh, okay.
and some very overpriced snacks.
Oh, well. No competition, you see, so just charge what you want. Like going up top of Snowdon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty quite winning, quite winning.
So this is the forum. Excellent view of the mountains. You can just imagine this place in full swing. Slaves everywhere, doing what slaves do. All the masters, shopkeepers milling about, doing business. Minus these odd statues though. Pretty sure these weren't there. These sculptures. That one appears to be a fallen angel of some sort. caved, bought their expensive water, but I was in need of a drink. I was a little parched. Still very hot. Coming up to 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's still scorcho. This one's a little bit odd. It's got a face where people don't have a face. What is the meaning of this? There is a face where people don't have a face.
Yeah, it's probably making a point about feminism. Like that one down there, it's like got a female torso kind of moulded into its torso. The Romans wouldn't have liked this. They like people to be perfect.
Now we're making our way out of the ruins, back to where we came in. Still got a bit of a trek ahead of us, and there's so much more to see here. But you know, we've seen all the key bits that we wanted to see, and it's too hot really to be going around finding out all the extra little bits. It's definitely been worth coming and seeing and doing and viewing. Just another way to get a sweat on and really earn this evening's tea.